Red Dead Redemption 2 just kind of destroyed Mario Kart, if you can believe that. We're also going to talk about Square Enix today, laying off a lot of staff members, and something that really caught my eye the other day with the Take-Two CEO just admitting what many of us have been saying for a while, which is we don't want longer games. We don't want 100-hour games. We just want better ones. Maybe we will even want pretty short games. So hey everyone, welcome into the channel. Just wanted to kind of do a news roundup here on this weekend. Hope you guys are having a great time. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I just love talking about video games, and I love playing video games as a way to take my mind off of this crazy world. And I have to tell you, one of my best experiences over the past few years was playing Red Dead Redemption 1 for the very first time. I never played it. I did a whole deep dive video on it if you want to check it out here on the channel, but I specifically played the port to the Switch, and I thought it was a great port. Yeah, obviously it had some limitations, but man, it was fantastic. It played beautifully on my OLED Switch, and I downloaded it while I was traveling because it came out while I was on vacation, and I just had an absolute blast. And it just took me to an unbelievable different world, and I love the Wild West. And my son played it then a few months later, and he absolutely loved it. So he keeps asking me, Daddy, when are we going to see Red Dead Redemption 2 come out on the PS5 and the Switch 2? So we could be seeing that in a few months, we hope, or maybe even a few weeks. But Red Dead Redemption 2, we just got some incredible sales numbers, just came out, officially passed Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to become the 4th best-selling video game of all time. And why don't we have it on the PS5 yet? Why don't we have a Switch 2 port yet? Arthur Morgan basically just rode past Mario, kind of leaving him in the dust. It's pretty remarkable. According to Take-Two's latest earnings report, Red Dead Redemption 2 has now sold over 79 million copies, pushing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe down to the number 5 position. That's wild for like a slow-burning Western that came out 7 years ago. And from what I understand, again, I've never played this game. I've been waiting for the new version. If there's going to be a port, that's what I've been waiting for. And, I know there's a lot of slowdown periods in the game. People say some parts are pretty boring. Other parts are incredible. It's got this open world to it. And people laughed when this game launched about its realistic horse physics. I remember hearing about that. I didn't play it at the time, but that sort of obsessive level of detail. I think they were even talking about like the horse's testicles at one point. Like, we have the best horse testicles of any video game. They're so clear. But apparently it clearly paid off because it's still the top selling game of the last 7 years in the United States by revenue. And it's so funny. My son is, 15 years old. He just turned 15. And he says like all of his friends play it online together and they love it. Now, again, they play the PS4 version of the game. And my son was asking me, hey, when can I start playing this game? I'm like, I want you to play the best experience possible. We're going to wait for that PS5 port. And hopefully maybe it'll come out by Christmas time because it's still not available natively on PS5 or the Switch 2. And it makes sense for this to be on the Switch 2. I mean, we saw how well they did with the Switch 1. And we know, according to a new report, that Rockstar has been evaluating performance targets for new hardware. But that's like corporate speak for like, don't hold your breath. We don't know yet. We know these Switch 2 development kits have obviously been a problem, getting them out to different developers. But come on. Let's get Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Nintendo Switch 2. That would be incredible because the Switch 2 has been out since June. It's already running Cyberpunk 2077. We got Elden Ring, which is coming out on the darn thing. We got GTA 5 at 60 frames a second. Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the most cinematic open world games ever made, is still stuck, running in this backwards compatibility mode. So, I mean, I'm hoping for like a 60 frames a second, faster load times, beautiful HDR lighting, because that was one of the things I loved about the OLED version of the first one. It just looked gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous being out there on the hillside. I just would put on headphones and listen to that music as you're just riding through the Wild West and shooting hawks out of the sky and all of that. So Rockstar could easily sell another 10 million copies of this game overnight if they port the damn thing. Of course, all the focus is on GTA 6. So I don't know. I think they got to get this thing out sooner rather than later. But now that we have this announced delay this week for GTA 6, another delay, maybe they could slot in Red Dead Redemption 2. I was hoping for it by Christmas time, but maybe it'll be like a spring release. So I don't know. But anyway, Red Dead Redemption 2 just destroyed Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But the real mystery isn't who won the race. It's why Rockstar just won't let Arthur Morgan ride again on modern hardware. So fingers crossed we get to see that. I'm really excited about it. One of my favorite games of the past few years.
$5,000 for your head alone. $5,000 for me? Can I turn myself in?
Next up, we have to talk about some layoffs. I wanted to talk about Square Enix, not so much the layoffs, corporate restructuring, all of that kind of stuff, but they announced 140 layoffs this week across its divisions in publishing and their quality assurance division, so QA. Now, what they're going to be focusing on here, and it makes sense, is AI. They're calling it restructuring, but let's be honest here, it's kind of damage control, because for years, Square has been stuck in sort of an identity crisis. They've had these bright spots, sure, but they've had some major flops. I mean, Forspoken bombed, Babylon's Fall imploded, they sold off Tomb Raider, Deus Ex to Embracer Group. It's been a pattern of sort of chasing trends instead of actually setting them. Then they went full on in this sort of massive, trilogy remake of Final Fantasy VII, and I don't know, their sales numbers were way lower than they had thought. Executives say this move is going to save them $20 million. It's going to streamline their operation. But I think it's just a polite way of saying internally, like, we've lost our focus. Like, who are we as a company anymore? What's been keeping Square's lights on lately is nostalgia. Their biggest wins of this year, Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake last year into this year. Game sold over 2 million copies. It's great for an old franchise with a new coat of paint, more than 1 million physical units sold in Japan alone. It exceeded expectations. It was heartfelt, beautifully made. The music is amazing. I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite games of last year. But here's the catch, though. You can't live off nostalgia forever. Square Enix can't just keep remaking 1990s games or late 80s games and calling it a business plan. We just saw Dragon Quest III, shows what they're capable of when they focus on quality, but also highlights what's missing: innovation. Where's the new blood? They just rolled out, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remakes, which I'm excited to play. I still haven't received my physical copy of that, so I'm going to probably play that during the Christmas season. I'm excited about it, but we need something bold. This is the company that, like, in many ways defined my childhood. So redefine it now. Like, why can't we have like a Clair Obscur Expedition 33 from Square Enix? We need like a new IP, maybe some new stunning art direction, tight gameplay. We don't need a 100-hour game, which we'll talk about in a second, and some confidence in its own identity. I just saw on Time Extension, there's like a new SNES game that's just being rolled out on the SNES, and it's just gorgeous. Can we come up with some new IP? We saw, what was that? Sea of Stars, right? Not perfect game and all of that, but like, where's Square in this mix of giving us some classic RPG blood? And by the way, there's a clear sign that people want these types of games. People want to be experiencing this. Again, just look at Clair Obscur. Probably will be Game of the Year at the Game Awards this year. That's the kind of quality and creativity that Square used to lead with, and now they're sort of like rehashing things and blowing through a lot of money, restructuring. And look, I get the QA part of this, because if you're going to bring in AI to kind of do QA, where I think it makes sense, because people are like, oh, no AI, no AI. But if you have AI going through your video game for quality assurance purposes and looking for bugs, it's probably going to be far more effective than human beings, because how much playtime do you need for humans to try to catch bugs? If AI can play through your games and catch a lot of bugs, and then the developers can fix it before launch, great. Give me an experience when you launch it that is complete, that you've got all the bugs out, but 150 people being laid off. So I don't know. You're seeing smaller studios right now creating this next generation of classics. Clair Obscur, Animal. How many other games? Stardew Valley. Like, all of these games are kind of like modern classics, and they're made by like one guy or two guys. So nostalgia is a short-term fix. They just don't want to start building new worlds, new ideas. And we're seeing it in Hollywood, right? They just want to keep remaking these movies over and over again. Give me that they just launched they're saying they're making a new Mummy movie. Like, give me some new IP. They're just out of ideas. And it's kind of bummer from Square Enix. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think Square Enix should do to save themselves?
All right then. Let's play.
Well, here's the third story I wanted to talk about today, and this really hit me because this is what I've been saying for months on this show, which is that people want shorter games. Shorter, tighter, great games, like Mafia: The Old Country. That is the proof. In a new interview that just came out, Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar, 2K Games, he said that Mafia: The Old Country outperformed expectations. and that players are voting with their wallets. He literally said, quote, consumers clearly want great contained narrative experiences. Not everything has to be 100 hours long. When you respect players' time and deliver quality at a fair price, they show up. Amazing. That's coming from the guy who runs Rockstar, studio behind Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption. He's even acknowledging that people are tired of like bloated, never-ending games. And I couldn't agree more. So recently, I played for the first time Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, back to back to back. I did a whole deep dive video of playing those for the first time. Newsflash, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And those 8 to 10 hour campaigns, each chapter is about an hour or so, are perfect. No filler, no fatigue, just great pacing and a story. If I started it on a Friday night, I could probably finish it by Sunday if I wanted to, or stretch it out for a few weekends, you know? It's just great pacing and great story. And by the way, just if you look at like the cost of it, like buying a game like that compared to going to movies and buying popcorn, you're getting many, many more hours out of that experience than you would just going to the movies. And the cinematic experience of those games is just fantastic. So look, I mean, for me, I've got 3 kids, a wife, 2 businesses, I've got a dog. I don't have time for all these like 120-hour open world games, fetch quests and all this kind of stuff. So give me something I can actually finish. And I think that that's encouraging given the news of, you know, delays for Grand Theft Auto, all of that stuff. For this like little moment that Zelnick mentions here to comment on, to me, it says something about the industry that the industry has been ignoring, that players want games that value their time. We don't need hundreds of side quests. We don't need to go out and collect herbs. We want stories that we can start, finish, and feel something from. And I loved when this game came out because there was like criticism about like the swimming. You know, I've talked about this. Oh my gosh, it's, you know, the swimming doesn't look like, you know, he's just, okay, great. So this is where you cut corners. I don't give a rat's ass about how good the swimming looks in a game like this that takes place in 1900s Sicily. Like, I want to contain a Mafia story that gives me that 8 to 10 hour experience. It proves that shorter games can still be huge successes. Gamers are speaking up with their wallets. Publishers are finally listening. So I'm hoping that we're maybe going to have a return to this like PS3 era. BioShock, you know, Uncharted, these great sort of shorter self-contained games like Mafia, the Old Country, which just happens to be a new release. So there you have it. Rockstar sitting on a gold mine right now with Red Dead Redemption 2, just like release the damn game. Give us the port, please. I will give you money for it right now. If you said it's out today, I'll run to the store and buy it right now. I want the physical. Square Enix, trapped in the past, trying to figure out who the hell they are and having all these layoffs. And I think gamers finally changing the industry by demanding these shorter, more focused games, and these CEOs are paying attention to it. We got to make more games like that. Maybe it doesn't take us 10 years to develop. It's an 8 to 10 hour game. Let's get it out there and sell it for 40 bucks. Yes, please. So if you enjoy this roundup, if you enjoy talking about games like this, please hit that like button. It really helps. And if you subscribe, that really helps as well. I know the algorithm really loves that these days. So drop a comment below. I try to read all of your comments as well. So thank you guys. What do you guys think about 8 to 10 hour games? Is that kind of your speed, or do you want 100 hours? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, we'll see you next time.